Susan.
Yeah. Hi, Marissa. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. How are you doing today?
I'm okay. Beautiful weather, beautiful day. I'm ready to learn.
Excellent. So, tell me a little bit about yourself. How long have you been playing?
Yep.
How often do
I
you
just
play?
started playing last year, and I took lessons at the Apple 9. Took 101, 201, and 301 with a girlfriend of mine, and got hooked, and so I've been golfing ever since. So I'm in the league this year on Tuesday nights, and I typically try to get out to the Apple 9 3 to 4 times a week.
Excellent.
So I love it. But
Good.
I need to improve. I'd like to improve.
Okay. Are you keeping score when you're playing?
Sometimes. It depends on who I play with.
Okay.
In the league, we keep score, but sometimes if my husband and I go out, I'm like, we're not keeping score because, we just try to practice certain shots. If it's lousy, we do it again. We do do-overs if there's no one behind us, if it's not crowded. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are you averaging for score, would you say? For 9 holes?
Down there, about 45.
Okay.
Yeah.
Average?
Yeah. Sometimes I get a 41. Sometimes I get a 50. So I'd say 45-ish is the average.
Okay. So why are we here today?
I think I need to improve on my chipping.
Okay.
I've taken one lesson. Well, it was covered in the 301, but I took one practice with the pros, and I thought I had it down. I did really well, and then I got out there, and I couldn't do it like I was doing it in class. I tend to go too far.
Okay.
I don't know if it's because I'm coming back too far, or I'm hitting the ball too hard. I'm not really sure.
Okay. But your tendency is to always be long?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. What club are you using when you're chipping?
It depends. I kind of like to use my sand wedge because I feel like I can get a little air and hopefully I won't go far.
Okay.
So I either use my pitching wedge, my sand wedge, or my 9. Typically.
Good. Okay.
I've done my 8 if I'm like really far away.
Excellent. Okay.
And sometimes it works out. Sometimes it does not.
Okay. So when, say, we're chipping from here, we're just about, 15, 20 feet off the green. So your tendency would be to go off the green, would you say?
Sometimes. Sometimes I actually go over the green, yeah. And depending on the size of the green.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Okay, to set a goal for today, how about we get you chipping so you're consistently within a 10, 15 foot range? Would that be fair? Or
yeah, 10 foot. 10 foot range? I'd be happy with. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. So equipment-wise, how long have you had these clubs?
I just bought these last year during my 301 course, and just went to Dick's, and this is what I picked up on. Actually, I ordered them online, and I like them. I mean, they're not the best, but I think they're fine for the caliber of golfer that I am.
Are they standard length?
Yes.
They are? Okay.
Yep.
Good. And so for clubs today, we will use an 8, a 9, and a wedge.
Okay.
Now, stretching. Have you stretched today, or when's the last time you hit balls or played?
Yesterday, actually.
Yesterday.
Yeah, I didn't play. I was supposed to play this morning, but it didn't work out. So, and I've not stretched.
Before we do a warm-up, do you have any injuries or ailments I should know about?
No, not really. Hip issues, but I can deal with that.
Okay, no surgeries or anything serious like that?
No.
Okay, good.
Nope.
Do you stretch before you go out to play?
I do.
Or warm up?
Yeah, typically I do.
You do?
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
What's a good stretch that you usually?
I like to try to stretch out my lower back.
Okay.
And so I just take the club and kind of do this and then up and down.
Okay. Well, let's do that first before we do some chipping. I tend to show my students the same as well because especially with the short game, we're in this position for so long.
Yeah. Right.
Let's stretch that out a little bit. Okay. The wind's died down.
Yes, it has. Yay.
any other sports or activities that you've done in the past or for fun?
I, played basketball when I was, in high school,
Okay.
but not really. I try to go to the gym 3 to 4 times a week. I do spin. I do a lot of bicycling outdoors.
Good. You're fairly active then.
Yeah, I try to be.
Good.
If I stop getting, ailments as I get older, I'd be more active. But.
Okay. I feel it in the back of my legs.
Yeah, yeah.
So when I teach the short game, I always like to first ask the student if they understand what chipping is, because I think chipping and pitching, students think they're one and the same.
Right.
So
Yeah.
tell me what your idea of chipping is.
I equate it to just almost like putting,
Good.
and it's a tick-tock motion using your shoulders.
Okay.
See, I took one lesson on it. That's the only reason I know that. But I think I break my wrists.
Okay.
You're supposed to apparently keep that perfectly straight, and I have a hard time doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what we'll do today is, like I said, our goal is to, by the end of the lesson, have you chipping inside 10 feet.
Okay.
And on long term wise, that will reduce your score.
Right.
Right.
That would be a good.
So the object here is to get inside that 10-foot range so you can 1 or 2 putt it.
Okay.
That
would be great.
All right. So what I'll have you do is I'll have you hit a couple of chips.
Okay.
I'll just evaluate like your setup first.
Okay.
And then we'll go from there.
All right.
Okay. Okay. So we are going to chip from here, say, to this first flag. So
Okay.
what club would you use if I wasn't here?
I have no idea. I don't know.
You said you would usually use a putter, right?
Well, I mean, if I were going to chip from here, I don't know.
Okay, that's
I
all
don't
right.
know.
So I suggested grabbing an 8, 9, and wedge. And we're gonna use 3 clubs. Because a lot of my students use just the pitching wedge.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of changing the length of the swing, why not change the club? And we're just going to keep the same swing.
Okay.
Because right now we need to work on you being more consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we go ahead and we'll try the pitching wedge first.
Okay.
And we'll change clubs just to see the different results.
Okay.
Okay, so like I said, I'll just watch you hit 2 or 3 balls.
Okay.
That first flag.
This
We'll go
first
from
one
there.
right here?
Yep.
Okay.
That's okay. Go ahead.
So I'm not getting any air. Isn't it supposed to go in the air?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. So chipping
So that's not happening.
is when the ball is about 25% in the air, 75% roll. Okay. All right, so with your setup looks pretty good. Your feet are close together, ball should be off the back foot, and your hands are forward. So that means you have more weight on your front foot, correct?
Yes. Oh,
Good,
okay.
good. And then the biggest thing I noticed is you're a little inconsistent with the length of your swing.
Mhm.
So it's very long, and then as you're coming through, it looks like you're trying to help it.
Okay.
So earlier you said chipping is like a putting motion.
Right. But that's not what I was just doing.
That's okay.
Okay.
So
I get it.
you'll be more consistent if we make your swing smaller and
Okay.
just use your shoulders.
Okay.
So
Okay.
why don't we go ahead and set up to the ball? Well, we'll do a couple practice swings. Like I said, your setup looks really good. I like how you're close to it.
closer to it, you'll use more of your shoulders. Theoretically. Um, so like you're saying before, tick-tock motion, I love using that mantra myself. Tick-tock, that helps with tempo. So show me your putting strokes right now. Good. You're keeping your wrist straight, rocking the shoulders, one piece back, one piece forward. Good. Much smaller though. That's what I like right there. So let's try a couple. Okay, good. All right. I'm well done. So what I saw there is this. Okay, so what you want to do is try to keep your wrist straight and feel that left hand or left fist. Shoulders, and then start cutting. Rock the shoulders, and then slow, use tempo. Tick, tock. So if we're going for this first flag, notice how far by you've been going.
4 to 8. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So for
So
here,
here.
I'd say 5 to 7 would be a good chip.
Here.
Exactly. 5 to 7. Yep. So try that. Cross, shoulder, stroke. That was very good. How'd that feel?
Better, because I'm paying attention to how far I'm coming back.
Okay.
Before I know, I'm coming back to it.
The bigger the swing, the more room for error. I was gonna say you can start over. You're overthinking. How's your heart pressure?
Hard.
And I hit the ground. And when you hit the ground, it's definitely using your wrist.
Okay. So more shoulders.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very small swing here. 5 to 7. Imagine a putting stroke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sort
Close.
of. Yeah.
Close.
I broke my wrist again.
No, actually you accelerated through it. So what we want to do is try to even out the tempo.
Yeah. The tick-tock.
But that was better, I think, in terms of contact.
Yeah.
Let's,
Okay.
I'm going to grab some golf balls. Just take a couple practice swings.
Okay.
Really, so these practice swings, I want you to just focus on 5 to 7, the length.
Okay.
So it's the length of the swing and the tempo. Tick tock. So with the tempo, if we're more consistent, then it's just the length of the swing that will dictate how far you go. If we're consistent with the tempo, then you're going to see more consistent results.
Okay.
So 5 to 7 is going to that first flag. Excellent. How'd that one? How'd that one feel?
Better. I just have to pretend in my head that I'm putting.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like I do better when I just pretend I'm putting.
Okay.
With a different
And that's
club.
what it is, really.
Yeah.
It's just a little different setup, but it's the
Yeah.
same motion. Chip in. Very nice. Not bad. Let's do 3 more with that club. 5 to 7. Cutting stroke motion. So 5 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Oh, we're thinking that. 5, 7. Okay. There you go. That's a really good chip.
I got too aggressive.
Keep the tempo
tick-tock.
even.
I know.
Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
try and help it. The loft of the club will do the work for you.
Yeah.
Let's. Now, if we were going for the second flag here,
Yeah.
instead of making a bigger swing with the pitching wedge,
Mm-hmm.
let's try a 9-iron
Okay.
because it has less loft
And
and
more.
it's no roll.
Right.
Yep. Soft hands, tick tock. You're just putting. Very nice. Not bad. Tick tock. Even tempo. Okay. How about 4 to 8? Okay, that's all right.
Yeah. So I don't understand why it's not going in the air at all.
Okay, when you say in the air, how, in your mind, how much air should you be
Well, I
getting?
think it should be getting up around this high. No?
Okay,
It's getting like here.
okay, let's try again.
Am I holding the club wrong or?
No?
Okay.
Well, I would cover up that club. Okay, so you're not getting a loft because you're lifting the club up. You're not
Okay.
giving the club a chance to
Okay.
get under the ball. So when I say don't be afraid to clip the grass, can you hear that?
Yeah.
I think in your mind you're trying to help it. You don't need to. Just let the club do the work. So what I mean is, let the club hit the ground. Soft hands. If your hands are tight, you're going to tend to pull the club up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But more shoulders. And we're just a cutting stroke motion. Get this wrist going towards the target. So, tick, tock. Okay. So I'm gonna put a 10-foot circle, imagining a circle around the flag.
Okay. All right.
So grip pressure is soft. Cutting stroke motion. Clip the grass. Okay.
Not terrible. But
Okay,
it-
so
but
if you
see,
were
it
to
would
grade
be-
contact, how was the contact?
I think it was okay. Maybe a B.
Okay. The result was long.
Yeah, long. Right.
So what I would do is either change the club,
Mm-hmm.
use a pitching wedge, or choke down on the club.
Okay.
Smaller swing.
All right. Try that.
Whatever you're comfortable doing.
Try to choke him down.
Same tempo though. That was good.
Yeah. Hey.
I think it was a better shot though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe choking down might be helping me.
Okay. More control.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so to improve on this shot, how are we going to change your swing? Still move by a little bit. So,
Maybe not come back as far.
yes, good.
Right on the edge.
Second. That's a good range, for a one putt.
I think choking down,
Helping
using
you.
a shorter,
Okay.
I have more control.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Yeah, I think I got lucky on that. I'm not
Why do you think you're not brushing the grass?
because I feel like if I do, it's just gonna go, I'm not gonna brush it, I'm gonna dig it up.
Okay, so if
It's
you
gonna be too
do,
hard.
it's because you're doing your
Doing
wrist. If you rock your shoulders, yeah, you
Yeah.
won't hit the ground like you think you can.
Okay.
Putting stroke.
So I hit the ground there. Well, maybe it's the line. I'm gonna turn this way.
Okay.
better
Yeah.
because it went a little in the air and
It was better, definitely better contact.
yeah.
And even the stroke looked better. How about let's try the pitching wedge?
Did I do that one? No, that I did the 9.
This is the 9.
Right.
So same technique here.
It wasn't bad. But
There's a sleeping green.
yeah.
Watch that tempo. Looks like you're accelerating. You don't need to. Slow it down.
I know. See, when I slow it down, then I
Okay. How about choking down again? Yeah. I'll go down.
Okay, all right. So I am within 10 feet for the most part. Okay. That was good.
That was great.
Rolled away, but
No, it was better. Okay, what did you feel you did there?
thought I was doing good. Maybe I hit the ground too much.
Okay. So remember, when I say you hit the ground, because you're using your wrist
Right.
or you're slowing down. Ooh, nice. Okay, 3 more. Okay. Take a top.
No, I wouldn't like that on that one. I could feel it breaking your wrist.
Putting motion, just your shoulders.
Not like that. Go too fast.
Okay, take a practice swing, slow it down. Tick, tock. Choke down too, don't forget. Okay, good.
Well, that was lucky. I'll take it.
So you told me at the beginning of the lesson you're always overshooting it.
Right. Yeah. Way over. And
Okay.
that's because I'm coming way back.
Okay.
You know, because that's just what I like to do. You know, if I could drive.
It's not all about
I know,
driving,
I know,
though,
I know.
Susan.
Right. I get
So
it.
tell me in your own words what you learned today.
Okay. For me, I think what I need to do is choke down. That seems to help.
Yes.
And, you know, just use my shoulders and just tick tock, keep the momentum. Stop, you know, don't break my wrist.
Yep.
And, you know, just have that same momentum going back as going forward.
Yes.
I'm trying to help it. I understand what you're saying. So
You
I-
don't need to.
I-
Yeah.
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 Um,
Yeah. I get that.
so I think you understand the concept now. You just got to practice.
Practice. Right.
Put some
Right.
time into it.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to see that you're getting closer.
Closer. Right. Right.
That was good. Any
Yeah.
questions?
No, I don't think so. I think that, you know, what I'll do, like you said, if I'm here.
Try using a 9-iron
Yeah,
or an 8-iron
yeah,
and still keep it small.
small, right.
Because I think the further you go back,
Yeah,
it just goes out of.
and
get out
just
of control.
psychologically, the further away I am, the further back I go and think I need to do that to get there. But
Right.
if I just do that tick-tock momentum
Okay.
straight. So
You
yeah,
did
that
great.
was good. Thank you very
You're
much.
so welcome.